What's up, guys? It is Nick here with some raw day trading. Decent day for me today. Um, I am sitting up just above $800. What was notable about today was that I wasn't really risking much at any given point. The moves on these stocks were kind of wild, and so I was playing it with just like pretty small size. And honestly didn't lose money till I started trying to play with stuff bigger than 1,500 shares really on later in the day on CISO, which just tricked me out in like three different ways, and went from up $40 on it to down 100 and something bucks on it, whatever. That was annoying. I was up 950 or so. um, Let me see here. Let's take this out. Yeah, Foxo was the one of the main name that I made money on at least. There was another name that was going, KTTA. I did not capitalize well on, but it moved really well, or at least it moved very consistently. I don't know. I didn't like the overall setup. Just thinking about it in sort of like a meta way, I did not like how on the daily chart that it had tapped the 200-day and then was fading right here. So the purple line is the 200-day, and then it faded into the open. I played a little bit on this recovery red to green here, but then I was like looking. I looked at the how it responds every day, and every day response is basically like opens high and fails whenever it has volume and gets going. And so I was basing a lot of my like trepidation off just that. And so I wasn't really paying attention to it, and I was like actively searching for other stuff to trade, but I ended up trading it. And then FOXO honestly didn't make many moves, and it had very tight halt bands out of the open, two pretty brutal halts down. Let's look at that in a second here. Um, there's a halt up and then two halts down, and then yeah. So this is the halt up out of the open. And then it's also a Nicey stock, I think. I think it's Nicey, right? I'm trying to see where I would find that. Not seeing it. Usually NASDAQ, and then, okay, yeah, you see how AREB on this side has NASDAQ listed right there. Normally that should have like Nicey or something, but it is not listed. So I'm thinking it's Nicey. Anyways, there's no information here. Maybe because the data feed doesn't have it, but I just assume that most people were blind because most people probably don't have that whatever specific data feed you need to get that imbalance information. And then out of this halt higher, my goal here was to give it a second because it was in there for a second, right? My goal was to give it a second because the halt up seemed a little bit unexpected. I did not expect it to halt up. And what I've been noticing is that when it halts up unexpectedly, then it generally tests down first before going. But that is a big test down, and it halted down pretty heavily. And so I kind of just like started looking for other stuff. MRIN was kind of going, and I failed a little bit there. And then KTTA starts holding up, and because this was the only one holding up out of all the things, I was like, everyone's going to be focusing on this, and so I just started trading it. Not really liking it though, because I didn't really trust it. Um, Not that I need to trust anything too crazy, but I just when you get more comfortable, like a $2 stock, I could really be playing with like maybe 5K shares, but I didn't trust the volatility on this one enough to even trade it with 2,500, and so I'm kind of just like sitting here like, okay, well we'll see how it goes, you know. My whole overall market approach this week, the market goal approach, is no adventurism, and no adventurism, just staying conservative. And so that's what I just tried to do. Stay pretty conservative. And yeah. And does a little bear trap here. I get a little bit of money on it. Probably not too much. Yeah, so I'm red here. Let's see what happens. Boom. Pretty picture perfect right there. Honestly, got a nice 10 cents off of it. Oh no, only 5 cents. Hmm. Could have got back in there maybe. Or there. I mean, granted, hindsight bias, right? That's me holding a little bit too long, getting it after getting in late. It's not really the smartest thing. I could have got roasted there. So I wasn't really playing that intelligently on that. Um, let's see here. Ooh, what can I jump ahead to? I got a couple. Good risk management side. Okay, and so a couple of side names, a couple of penny names that started to pop up. Foxo started a curl right there. I'm actually gonna play that and practice that as my like hour of practice, or practice KTTA probably as my hour of practice today. My homework. Okay. Okay. So this one I did pretty good on the sizing. I was very conservative on sizing on this dip here, because what I was thinking is like, look, there's not much volume in this. These can move kind of wild. This GVH. Sorry, I'm kind of just waking up from a nap. Yeah, so the GVH here, I don't really like this setup. I was looking for a test below 1, test below 1, and then it gets reversed. I should be cutting there, but I have to cut a little bit late. Yeah, I'm kind of iffy. I'll give myself an okay on that, only because I I had decent small size on it. So, okay. Annoying. And then what else do we have? 11:26. Halt opens. Okay, so let's go. Oh yeah, I remember this. Okay, so this Foxo pushes up throughout the morning. And then and then here's the halt open. Just immediately pins up to above the pre-market high, and then the 200 SMA, simple moving average, and then it does its dip, and that's usually a more dangerous situation. Although you could have got a dip off that. The first dip on that, I guess, looks like it was viable. Looks like it's holding. Looks like it's holding. There's also the close of the 5 minute candle, so that gets kind of tricky. Getting pinned, sellers coming in. 15 seconds left on this first 1 minute candle out of the open. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Looking heavy. Sellers trying to get in. It is on SSR, short sale restriction. I try to take a stab there, and I get out nicely, just for a 2 cent loss or something. Also KTTA. So that holds there. KTTA is just doing what I thought it would have done at the open. Now fulfilling the daily pattern of like selling off hard every time it pops up. And then 11:31, we have another wild halt open. So let's look at that. All right, now watching it. 9 seconds. I ate so much banana bread. Boom. Not holding. So it looks like a couple people bought. It's open. Yeah, try to buy. You could have got out there pretty easily without a crazy loss. Halt band's still tight, and then it pins to that halt level. And halts down again. I just had nothing to do with it. Nothing was really viable there. In IVF, whatever going, it's too late in the afternoon with too low volume for me. And it's halted, and it's nothing. And then I start trading this in this area. Nothing really happens. Where do I make all that money? I don't know. I don't make any money there. Basically break even, which is fine. And then later in the day, I make it. But anyways, day trading is risky. My results are not typical. Don't do this at home, folks. This is purely for entertainment purposes only. Anyways, like I said, had too much banana bread, and I am going to go finish up my day and drink some tea, do a little hip mobility workout. I overate the banana bread, so my workout is going to be funky today, but still going to do it. Yeah, I always hate feeling over full, but c'est la vie. That banana bread was just so good. Anyways, peace out, guys. Thanks for watching.